Chapter 12.
Creeks woke up. His eyes blurred as he looked around. His hand instantly went to his stomach, feeling a large scar, now scabbed over a purple colour. He looked over at Vass and Great, who had saved his life the previous day. They now lay asleep, propped up against the opposite tree, their guns lying on the floor. "Hey!" he called. He saw them stir, and their eyes opened quickly, as if they'd been expecting the sudden shout, which they probably should have been, considering they're in hostile territory.
Creeks, you're alive,
Said Vass, a huge grin on his face. We'd better press on then.
That's great.
I'm sorry, I was miles away.
I was wanking.
I was middle of a wank. Vass and I are gonna make some breakfast before we go anywhere. Okay, but make it good. I'm starving. Vass and Great disappeared off into the jungle. They returned an hour later, carrying some kythons over their shoulders. What the fuck is that? I hope you're hungry, said Great. He threw a large brown furred beast on the floor, followed by Vass's. Kython? Where did you find one of those? I thought they were hunted to extinction, said Criggs. Obviously not, said Great. They soon had a fire going, revealing their position, and were eating red meat off the bone, giving themselves quite bad food poisoning.
What was it? Roaring fires.
Malt beer, red meat off the bone. Who the fuck are you? Said Great.
This is the home of my cousin Bob.
And they call it a mine. A mine. What's going on?
It's not a mine. It's a tomb.
It's real. We get sued for that bit. Where was it?
I don't think they're gonna care.
What if they do?
Shut up, get on with it. When they finished,
They had to stop several times for Cricks, his stomach not taking the kython. However, he did not vomit. And they picked their way through the dense jungle, due north. Good God, it stinks. Good God, it stinks.
What? Look, you missed all
Oh
that.
God, I'm sorry.
However, he did not vomit, and they picked their way through the dense jungle due north for hours, finally
Arriving at the outskirts of the marshes, they had only travelled 1 mile. Good God, it stinks, cried Great, shielding his nose from the foul smell of the swamp. He slowly stepped down from the moss-covered rock and landed on the green swamp. The thick bubbling liquids soaking his UTA suit from the waist up. Vass and Crick slowly lowered themselves into the swamp as well, wading a couple of meters further forward amongst the slimy plants, the wet vines slapping into the front of their helmets and sliding off backwards. Okay, so where's the abandoned base? Asked Crick.
I swear he wasn't this account to start off with.
Yeah, war changed, man. Looking ahead of his hand on his forehead.
It's due east of here. The old swamp is about a kilometer square, so it should be hard to find,
said Vass, also looking ahead. But how can you tell how far somebody
It's a kilometer away.
when you can't see 3 feet in front of you, said Crane, walking forward.
Suddenly Scottish.
The next hours were spent slowly dragging themselves through the thick swamp, stopping for short rests, their heads just showing above the liquid. They were also covered in green slime but under the logs, so any enemy tracking them would have a very difficult time indeed. Is that it? Asked Craig, looking ahead amongst the mist to see the brief outline of a green slime-covered concrete bunker.
That is it,
replied Vass, wading faster forward through the swamp. He reached the edge of the concrete, the thick lookout glashes above the surface of the stale slime. They all climbed around the back and smashed the padlock of the door, pulling it open with great difficulty after so many years of abandonment and rust. They walked down the stairs and found a huge control center there, the bunker obviously having built many meters underground.
Okay, let's see if we can find the communications room.
Said Vass, upon which we'll trash the whole place again.
And if that fails, we'll have a look for some sort of working ship or something.
What if that fails? Asked Grace.
Don't know.
Anyway, come on, let's start looking. Time's a wasted.